app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The U.S. deports migrants to Rwanda in Africa.
Authorities in Rwanda have said that 7 migrants have been transferred from the United States to the East African country under a deportation agreement with the U.S. The Rwanda government said on Thursday the deportees arrived in mid-August. Rwanda said earlier in August it would accept up to 250 deportees from the U.S. No information was provided about the identities of the deportees. Rwanda is one of 4 African countries that have reached such agreements with Washington. The others are Uganda, Eswatini, and South Sudan. 8 men were sent to South Sudan from the U.S. in July. I'm Karen Shamas.
Thailand's Constitutional Court has dismissed Paetong Tarn Shinawat from her position as Prime Minister. The court ruled she violated constitutional rules on ethics in a phone call with Cambodia's President Hun Sen. She immediately loses her job. Breaking news at townhall.com. At a briefing, White House Press Secretary...
On-Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's your weekend forecast. Cloudy tonight with a low temperature dipping to 66. Tomorrow, it'll be mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a 40% chance we get some showers. The high is 81. For Sunday, it's a blend of sunshine and clouds, 30% chance of afternoon rain, and another high in 81. Labor Day Monday looking really nice. Have a great weekend. I'm Cal Moss with your On-Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make The Point Radio.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
And it is finally here. Can you believe it? How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you confident? Are you overconfident? How are you feeling about your team? Here on the eve of the start of the college football season around the state of South Carolina, it's going to be wild. You know, the thing is, the first weekend we get all hyped up about it and we anticipate it, we talk about it, and we analyze it, and the first weekend does not make or break your season. It's the grind. It's the grind that'll make or break your season. Nice to get off to a good start, nice to get a W to start things off, but it's not an absolute guarantee one way or another how your season's going to pan out. Then again, you do want to win. You do want to win, get off to a positive start, build that momentum, and try and go on from there. You can't have an undefeated season if you lose the opener. But we are looking forward to it. Got a busy weekend ahead. Welcome into Sports Talk. It's a Founders Federal Football Friday night here on the Sports Talk Media Network. First with Sports Talk. And then at 10:05, the Founders Federal Football High School Scoreboard Show over many of these stations from 10:05 till midnight. Scores, and reports. Looking forward to bringing that to you tonight. Gorgeous night for football around the state of South Carolina. Little toasty out there right now, but I think it's going to cool off a little bit as the evening goes on. Should be a really good weekend for football. Should be a good weekend for NASCAR racing. The first playoff race at Darlington. We had a blast there last night, absolute blast. So if you're planning to go to, you couldn't go to Atlanta and the race. You could go to Clemson, of course, or to some other game tomorrow, and then the race on Sunday. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy the doubleheader action. I'm actually going to pull off the triple header tomorrow by going to Furman first. That has a 2 o'clock kick, then over to Clemson. By the way, I saw a note today that the Clemson game will not actually kick until about 6:50. So make your plans accordingly. It's going to be on ABC. The broadcast will begin at 7:30. What did I say? It'll begin at 7:30 and kick at 7:50. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at this note came from a guy that covers LSU, so he's got it listed in Central Time. In Eastern Time, it'll be 7:30 broadcast, about 7:50 on the kickoff. Of course, an SEC crew will be handling that game tomorrow at Clemson because, I mean, that is, I think, one thing that college football should just – why do you identify your crews like that? Because now everybody says, well, there you go. The visiting team, the SEC team is going to have the advantage as a result of that. And why don't they just call them NCAA football officials? And they're not affiliated with any league. I don't understand that, and have a national coordinator of officials instead of your individual conference. They're all working by the same rules across the board. It makes no sense. It certainly makes no sense. Chris Bergen is not with us tonight. He's traveling with Coastal Carolina up to Virginia. The plumber, Josh Cohen, is here. So coming up, we're going to have our picks. We welcome back the guys participating in the Sports Talk Pick'em Challenge, the defending champion, Dr. Rick Sanford, looking to go back-to-back. I don't know that anybody's ever gone back-to-back as our Pick'em champ. Well, you look at what? Nobody's ever gone back-to-back to win it.
Didn't he win 2 times like he won last year? And
No.
Who won the year before
I don't
last?
remember, but it wasn't him. I don't remember, but it wasn't him.
I think I have to go get the trophy. We now have this is the second year with a trophy.
We have a trophy.
Yeah.
We have a trophy already here. It's on display. It's like the Stanley Cup. It's been traveling.
Yeah.
It's been traveling around the state of South Carolina. Everybody wants to touch the trophy. So we got that coming up. We got recruiting coming up here in the first half hour. Big weekend for Clemson with visits, unofficial visits. David Shelton at 6:35 previewing the night in high school football. Then the return of the football filibuster once again with former Governor Jim Hodges. Now he has gone back-to-back. I'm not sure he's ever lost. He has lost in the past. It will be Attorney General Alan Wilson once again challenging him for the title of a champion of the football filibuster for this season. Lee Sterling with his Sterling picks at 7:05. He's off to an 0-1 start on the season after last weekend. But he will get hot, as you know. Jeff Owens will talk Darlington with us at about 7:20, and then George Bryan, birdies, bogeys, and biceps. So we got it all covered for you here tonight on Sports Talk. So how are you feeling? Phone number 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to reach us here on Sports Talk if you want to jump on board for a quick comment or question. You can also send us a text message. Phone number 803-900-4847. 803-900-4847. By the way, if you're going to a high school game tonight, keep that number and send us the score from your game and maybe a few details that you might know from your game. That would be very helpful tonight on the High School Scoreboard Show. So, a couple of other things to tell you about. Florida announced today that head baseball coach Kevin O'Sullivan will serve a school-imposed 3-game suspension to open the season because of that outburst during the Conway Regional. Remember when he got all ticked off because of the delaying the start of the game and all this sort of stuff, and he jumped down the throats of the umpires and the folks at Coastal Carolina? Missouri quarterback Sam Horn had an MRI today, had a lower leg injury in their opener last night. He's out indefinitely. And let's see, what else here? High school. Corey Jenkins put this out today. Corey Jenkins, the former USC quarterback, now the head coach at Dreer. 2-year contract was signed, he said, but due to a breach of contract forfeit by Cardinal Newman, for whatever reason, he wrote, Dreer will not have a game tonight. Unfortunately, could not find another game to replace Cardinal Newman, so by their default, he says, we will get the win. So that's 2-0 win for Dreer over Cardinal Newman tonight. Chapel Fowler of the State had more details today on the DUI case being dropped against Clemson tight end Ian Shefflin, as he did a little more investigative reporting up there, as he does a great job doing that. He talked to some of the officials up there to get more of an explanation about why things were changed as far as, well, not changed, but why they settled on what they settled on, and also some of the things that Shefflin has to do to get back into the good graces of everybody up there. So if you haven't read this, some of the details include that the plea agreement was struck with the city, and that requires Shefflin to make a $600 donation to a local charity and give 12 separate one-hour presentations to local schools about the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse and driving and how to avoid making bad decisions. This is according to a top city official. So they changed the ticket, his DUI charge. They dismissed that, and he accepted a traffic ticket for a lesser charge of reckless driving. And so he has to do these other things as a result of that. The prosecutor, Kurt Tavernier, told the state that Shefflin formally signed his plea agreement Monday, 8 days after the arrest. In the agreement, the defendant in the case pleads guilty to a lesser charge, agrees to a number of other stipulations. As a result, the charge is dropped and the case is resolved. He also must, let's see here. Those are the $600 donation and the presentations. He'll be suspended for tomorrow night's game against LSU. And he's also publicly apologized for the incident. So I guess those are the two things he has to do, is pay the money and make those presentations as a result of that plea agreement. So there you go with that story. The Virginia Tech depth chart shows 3 players with state ties. Running back Braden Bennett transferred from Coastal Carolina. He's from Greenville. Cornerback JoJo Krim is from Camden. And safety Sherrod Covell is a transfer from Clemson. Our poll question of the week ended up with 41.1% of the votes saying both USC and Clemson will win this weekend. 35.7% has USC winning and Clemson losing. 14.3% has it the other way, Clemson winning and USC losing. 8.9% have both teams losing. Rock Hill native Chris Lowe, one of the top sports reporters in the country, had been with ESPN for a long time. You might recall last night we read you his post that he was leaving ESPN, and he's not retiring. He's going to work for On3. So On3 continues to sign up some of the big-name sports reporters around the country. And there you go. Those are some of the top notes today. We've got a look at high school football coming up. After the break, we're going to get to our picks on the night, and also we'll give you the recruiting reports. We've got the football filibuster coming up with the governor and the general. Sterling picks with Lee, and Jeff Owens talking NASCAR with the playoff race coming up at Darlington this weekend. So it's a loaded show for you on this Founders Federal Football Friday night, and we'll be back right after this break.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at ExperienceColumbiaSC.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love, and you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
Life insurance isn't for you. It's for those you love the most. For a complete insurance review, call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, serving Lawrence, Clinton, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
When South Carolina's best high school football players take the field at the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl, they're backed by a powerful team of their own. As proud title sponsors, your local co-ops celebrate more than just a game. It's a tradition where talent shines, where teamwork matters, and where community spirit takes center stage. Don't miss the 78th Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl, December 13th at Doug Shaw Memorial Stadium in Myrtle Beach, powered by your electric cooperative.
G3 here with Tsunami Bar Sports, and it's time for a fall preview. That's right, 720 Chris Drive, 378 and I-26, Frontage Road, where you can now preview the best technology for golf known to man. It's the Tsunami Bar. It's live weight. It's the only technology out where you get your tempo and flow going before you play. Now, it also serves as a pattern support tool. 720 Chris Drive, Frontage Road, 378 and I-26. You also can visit the Garage Gym Pro Shop. Pick up your tools, take them home, and while you're here, tour the Scramble Course 6-hole pitch and putt right now.
Now, Sports Talk Picks, brought to you by Experience Columbia SC, right here on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Okay, time to give you our picks tonight from our illustrious panel participating once again this year in the Sports Talk Pick'em Challenge. The winner, of course, gets a wonderful, very valuable jewelry-laden trophy that was made at a fashionable New York jewelry shop, specifically for the purpose of our competition. If you want to show that off to everybody, Plummer, you'll see. It's the envy of all trophies in America. I mean, look at that thing. It's gorgeous. Look at the diamonds. Look at the diamonds shining down at the bottom. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We had two of those, didn't we? We had two of those. And what did we have? Two? Why did we have two so early? One was made by mistake or something? What, did we drop one?
Yeah, one was scratched up, and then they just sent me a second one, so I used it. I just changed the wording so it was for the next year. So and we gave the last year's winner the broken one. So that one has some scratches on it. This year, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's get to what our panel thinks about 5 games this weekend, picking against the spread. This is not easy. This is not for the faint of heart. Picking against the spread. We do 5 games. And, again, last year's champion, Dr. Rick Sanford, already flexing his muscles, feeling like he's going to run away with this thing. But not so fast, my friend. So we'll start with me. I'm going to go, like I've said from the last 2 weeks. And, when I make a prophecy, I don't back away from it. Taking LSU and the 3.5. I'm taking South Carolina laying the 7.5. Taking Texas and laying the 1.5. That's at Ohio State. I'm just going to go on a hunch that Arch Manning's going to be the better quarterback. He better be, after all the hype. I'm taking the points in Florida State. I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but I do think it'll be a competitive game. And I'm taking Miami at home with, I think, the better quarterback. Though I just saw where one of their linebackers is in some trouble over a car wreck, I think it was, or a car incident. I don't know if he's going to play or not. But I'm still going to take Miami. So give me LSU, USC, Texas, Florida State, and Miami. All right. Chris Bergen. He likes Clemson and South Carolina, Texas. He likes Alabama and Notre Dame. Dr. Rick Sanford, All-American, number 1 round draft pick. LSU, South Carolina, Texas, Alabama, Notre Dame. Smitty going with Clemson and South Carolina, Texas, Alabama, and Notre Dame. Pat Daniel. The great Pat Daniel. Everybody remember Pat? Pat Daniel. He's still with us in spirit, if not in presence. Clemson, South Carolina, Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame. Kev, the landlord Cohen. We just call him the landlord. LSU, South Carolina, Ohio State, Florida State, Notre Dame. Bobby, the big kahuna, down in Charleston. Bobby Harden, the big kahuna, owner of the airwaves. He's taking Clemson. He's taking Virginia Tech. I better check his temperature. He picked Clemson and he picked Virginia Tech. Bobby Harden. Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame. Fran, the money coach Halloran. LSU, Virginia Tech, Ohio State, Florida State, Notre Dame. Teddy, I'm so sexy without my shirt, Hefner. Clemson, South Carolina, Ohio State, Florida State, Miami. Allen, the bad boy of Sports Talk Radio, Smothers. Clemson, USC, Texas, Florida State, Miami. Don, godfather of Sports Talk Williams. Clemson, USC, Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama. And the youngster, the plumber, Clemson, USC, Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama.
Do you have the rankings for last year? Because I did pretty well last year.
They've been erased.
Wow.
It's a new year. Jim Corbett, the judge, gentleman Jim Corbett, he sent me some picks, but they weren't for these games. I don't know what he was sending me.
He had like Tennessee in them. And
I don't know what he was. I don't know. We'll have to get his picks later. That explains why he traditionally finishes in last place. So there you go. Those are our picks. Read them and weep. Use them at your own risk. We don't guarantee anything. It's not our fault if you get it. If you use our picks and you get it wrong, it's not our fault. And we'll, of course, update everything as we move on through the season. Looking forward to that. We've got the football filibuster coming up. We've also got Lee Sterling with the Sterling picks coming up as well. But right now, before we do anything else, let's get into the recruiting report tonight. On this Founders Federal Football Friday night, it's brought to you by our good friends over at Seawells, where you can get over Tuesday through Friday for a tremendous, delicious lunch buffet for only $15. Still doing what they can to help the economy by keeping the price very reasonable for what you get. Believe me, you'll get your money's worth at Seawells with the daily luncheon buffet. And you've got a special event coming up, like a wedding reception or a birthday party or a corporate outing, or maybe you're celebrating your team's victory on a given Saturday, and you want to have a big party. You want Seawells to handle that catering. You need them in that kitchen. You want them in that kitchen. 803-771-7385 and online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. Let Seawells handle all of your catering needs. Big weekend at Clemson, as I said at the outset, with a bunch of visitors coming in for various classes. Here is a list of those who've announced on social media their plans on being at Clemson. In the 26th class, offensive tackle Fletcher Turk, running back Ja'Allen Terry, and defensive end Franklin Whitley. He is from Greenville High. In the 27 class, linebacker Jalathan Mayfield, defensive end Santana Harvey, receiver defensive back Davian Jones, probably be a safety. Safety Harrison Luke, cornerback Joshua Dobson, safety Marquise Bryant, linebacker Trip Keller, offensive tackle Nate Carson, tight end Grant Haviland, defensive back Robert Geathers III of the Geathers family, offensive lineman Jaden Dean, running back Jerry Beard II, defensive end KJ Green, safety Jaden Aparicio Bailey, defensive end Jaden Bryant, linebacker Quentin Cipher, offensive lineman Kennedy Brown, tight end Jackson Dollar, running back Trey Segura, linebacker Caden Henderson, defensive lineman Seth Tillman. In the 28 class, defensive end Asher Giotto, receiver Trey Wembley, and quarterback Grayson Clary. 2027 running back Aiden Gibson of Woodruff plans to attend the USC Virginia Tech game as a guest of the Gamecocks. 27 offensive lineman Reed Ramser of Orlando has set a game day visit to Clemson for November 1st. And Clemson target 27 linebacker Caden Henderson of Tampa was offered today by the University of North Carolina. Meantime, on the basketball side of things, Clemson will have two in for official visits this weekend. Both of them are big-time targets for them. 6'5" Harris Reynolds of Atlanta. This will be the first of 7 official visits he has planned. Got a good, strong relationship going with Brad Brownell and Lucas McKay, so he likes the Tigers quite a bit as he goes into this visit. He's also going to be taking official visits with Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt, USF, VCU, St. Louis, and Texas A&M. He'll be joined by 6'10" Will Stevens of Lake Norman, North Carolina. This will be his first official. He also plans officials to Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Davidson, and St. Mary's. So the dead period is over. It's been dead, of course, all throughout August. So with the start of this weekend, it's back to visits on the recruiting front. David Shelton coming up.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's your weekend forecast. Cloudy tonight with a low temperature tipping to 66. Tomorrow it'll be mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a 40% chance we get some showers. The high is 81. For Sunday, it's a blend of sunshine and clouds, 30% chance of afternoon rain, and another high in 81. Labor Day Monday looking really nice. Have a great weekend. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Palmetto State Armory is on a mission of making freedom available to all Americans. And with retail stores across South Carolina and a fully stocked online shop, we're delivering freedom coast to coast. PSA is an American-made and veteran-owned firearms company built for those who believe in the Second Amendment and the strength of self-reliance. From suppressors, firearms, ammo, and accessories to fishing gear and apparel, we're more than a gun company. We're a movement. Visit us in store or online at PalmettoStateArmory.com. Palmetto State Armory, American-made for life.
I'm Keith Peters. Politico is reporting a federal appeals court on Friday struck down President Donald Trump's use of emergency powers granted by Congress to impose tariffs, opening the door for the administration to potentially have to repay billions of dollars worth of duties. The 7-4 ruling raises doubts about deals Trump has struck with the European Union, Japan, South Korea, and other major trading partners to reduce the reciprocal trade tariff rates on their imports from the levels the administration eventually set in April. The ruling will not take effect right away, giving the administration time to appeal to the Supreme Court. This has been an SRN News Special Report. I'm Keith Peters in Washington.
Hey, it's Kev. I'm hanging out with Ken, the owner of Broker Solar, a local company. Now, Ken, I know you have some solar pet peeves. These national guys, they're just not very honest.
One of the common myths in the solar industry is that you can get solar for free or some kind of government-paid solar, and that's simply not the truth. But what you can get is a solid investment that has tax credits that will pay you back for years to come. That's one of the things that we promote at Broker Solar is proper education in what solar is and how you can take advantage of the incentives that are out there, local and federal.
Tell me more about these tax credits.
There's currently a huge federal tax credit that gets you a third of the system cost back. And on top of that, the state of South Carolina, we're lucky enough to have an extra 25% of that solar system cost come back to you in the form of tax credits, totaling for a 55% discount on your solar system back in tax credits.
Call Broker Solar. Call them now, 803-807-7417 or online, brokersolar.com.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing our new healthy gluten-free menu. For your choices, we offer charbroiled certified Angus ribeye steak, juicy marinated grilled chicken dinner, fresh grilled salmon, authentic Greek salad, hamburger steak with grilled onions and melted cheese, shish kebab with grilled chicken, veggie blue plate with a choice of 4 vegetable selections, spring chicken salad, and of course, our famous slow-roasted pot roast. Come and enjoy a healthy gluten-free menu at Flight Deck Restaurant. We at Flight Deck Restaurant thank you, and God bless.
Looking to make life simpler and save money? Make a smart move. Transfer your high interest balances to a Founders credit card and take advantage of our balance transfer rate as low as 2.99% APR. That's right, as low as 2.99% with no balance transfer fees. That means more breathing room for what matters, like taking that long awaited vacation or finally getting ahead. Whether you're catching up or simply just want to relax, we're here to help you save more. So, what are you waiting for? Take advantage of this limited time offer through September the 30th. Apply now and enjoy peace of mind knowing you've made a smart move that works for your wallet and for you. Visit foundersfcu.com or stop by a local office today. Promotional rate expires 6 months from the date of the transaction. Then effective APR of 13.25% to 17.9% will apply. For more details, visit foundersfcu.com/cc. Membership qualification required.
Escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life with Spa MD, your sanctuary of rejuvenation. Feel the tension melt away as our expert team guides you through your customized wellness journey. From soothing massages to revitalizing treatments, we promise a remarkable experience that leaves you feeling renewed and empowered. Discover the calm within every visit. Reach out at 251-9400 or online at visitspamd.com to explore your options. Your oasis of tranquility awaits.
Turning face to stars and stripes, it's fighting back them butterflies, it's calling in the air, alright, yes sir, we want the ball, and it's knocking heads and talking trash, it's slinging mud and dirt and grass, it's I got your number, I got your back, when your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got us all. The boys are fall.
Okay, we're back on Sports Talk Media Network here on this Founders Federal Football Friday night. High school football will be king tonight across the state of South Carolina. It's a beautiful night. Really have some terrific matchups across the state as well as we go to, I guess now what's officially week 1. Some will argue it's week 2 since we had a lot of games played last week as well. But by the high school league schedule, this is officially week 1. And so we're looking forward to some of these big matchups across the states. And we're going to have, of course, all the scores for you on the high school scoreboard tonight at 10:05, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. And we'll have reports from folks at the games and maybe catch up with a coach or two, and to break it all down throughout that show and to join us now, David Shelton of the High School Sports Report and the Charleston Post and Courier, headed out to a ball game tonight himself. David, welcome in. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm alive, and that's always a good thing.
That is. You woke up and you saw the blue sky this morning.
You're exactly right.
We have got some really good matchups tonight. There's several we could kick around. I don't know. You tell me what you like, or I'll tell you what I like. I'll tell you one right here I like. What about Dutch Fork and Spartanburg tonight down here in the Midlands area? What do you think of that matchup? Spartanburg got much for Dutch Fork.
Well, Spartanburg was a little disappointing last week, so I expect they'll play better. But I don't know that they can beat Dutch Fork. But Dutch Fork, first game, they didn't play last week. They'll probably have some mistakes. Spartanburg's well coached, got some good players. I mean, who knows? But, if I was betting money, which I'm not, I would think Dutch Fork's going to win the game, convincingly.
How do you like the quarterback? I believe it's the coach's son at Dutch Fork stepping in to be the guy this year.
Yeah, I only saw a little bit of video of him on Twitter, and he's a nice sized youngster, and he's got a good strong arm, and he's been training for this since he was 6. So I remember telling the story. I was there at a playoff game several years ago, probably 10 years ago. They were playing Fort Dorchester, and during the halftime, you know how the ball boys go out and mess around, throw the ball. Well, this ball boy for Dutch Fork was throwing 35-yard dart. And I was like, holy cow, this kid's going to be a good one. And I think it was Lou that was there. Yeah, that's Knott's son. So now Knott's son is the guy. But, I think we all know Coach Knott's enough that if his son wasn't the best guy, he wouldn't be playing.
Sure.
So, he must be a pretty good quarterback.
What about this game tonight in the Upstate? Tell me if you think this will be a good one. Catawba Ridge, with, of course, one of the nation's top defensive backs in the 27 class, going to Dorman. I think Dorman had a pretty nice win to open things up last week. What kind of game you looking for there?
Yeah, I think we're gonna know a lot more about both these teams when this game is over. Catawba Ridge has been mentioned prominently in the preseason as a Division II 5A state contender, and maybe they will be. But I always say that if you're going to be in that class, you got to go win these type of games. It's not a region game. It doesn't matter for anything. But Dorman's a good program, and Dorman's a good team. Dorman looked really good last week. So same thing for Dorman, though. I mean, they need to go out and beat a Catawba Ridge, who everybody respects pretty well. And it is early, but these kind of wins can do a lot in terms of building momentum and confidence going into the early part of the season.
Probably the best game of the night in the state is also in the Upstate, I would say, and that would be Irmo and Burns. Now, that's going to be a game loaded with major college prospects on both sides. Maybe a lot of points in this one at the new stadium there at Burns. What do you think about this one? Which way do you think it might go?
I like Irmo, but Burns could easily win this game. Well, it won't be easy, but they could win this game. I think Irmo's defense is a little better overall than Burns' offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I really and I think Irmo can score. I saw them last week against Oceanside, and they can score. Oceanside is not a bad defensive team, and they put up 35 on them. So I think if Burns can avoid turnovers and penalties, which they haven't always been able to do,
mm-hmm.
they can build on that win. I mean, Irmo's going to be better than T.L. Hanna was last week, but what Burns did to T.L. Hanna was pretty impressive.
By the way, did you see what happened to Westside last week? Their trip out to Alabama. Holy cow.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go back to Alabama if I was Brian Lane, but you know what? I mean, they're due to be a little bit down after losing Cutter Woods and some of those receivers, but you watch early November, they're gonna have some wins, and they're gonna pull an upset or two. But I don't know about the team they played, but those cats must be pretty dang good.
Vestavia Hills, that's right. That's a suburb of Birmingham. That's in that Mountain Brook, Hoover area. So, they got a ton of good ball players. David Shelton with us here for a couple of more minutes as we talk high school football tonight and taking a look at some of the top games. And over in the PD Grand Strand tonight, you got Summerville and South Florence. So this is a showdown, early showdown between two powers. You got the head coach back at Summerville after sitting out last week. South Florence looked good with their win, big win over West Florence last week. What do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I think, again, we're not sure about South Florence, and we're not. I was at the Summerville Stratford game Monday night, and Summerville's offense rolled up 511 yards, and they did it with great balance. I mean, almost like 250 and 260. It was really good balance. They got a lot of weapons. Defensively, I saw some cracks, and if South Florence can expose those cracks, and Summerville also had 12 penalties that night. They get 12 penalties every game. They make it so hard on themselves with this stupid stuff like getting a first down and spiking the ball, or scoring the touchdown, spiking the ball, having to kick off from your 20 and the guy runs it back 50 yards. I mean, just stupid stuff, but they're very talented. I mean, they're very talented. So I think this will be a competitive game. I think it's going to be one that we kind of learn a lot about both teams. I think last 2 years ago the game wasn't close. I think last year was. I might be got them mixed up, but I thought last year was a pretty competitive game.
All right. Why is Winter Park, Florida, coming down to play Berkeley?
I think they're coming up to play Berkeley.
Or coming up, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Coming up to play Berkeley.
That's the Berkeley coach, Eric Lodge. That's where he came from. So there's a connection there, and they just decided to play each other. They played last year. I think Winter Park beat them in a very close game, very low scoring. It's a good program. I mean, it's not Miami Northwestern, but it's a good program. They've won big games and championships. Be a good test for Berkeley, but sort of a fun little rivalry.
And why did Stratford want to play Daniel tonight?
Well, they played them last year.
Yeah.
And lost a close game. Last year, for some reason, they ended up playing in the Midlands. I'm not sure the reason why. I think it was weather or something. But they're going to Daniel tonight.
Is that up there tonight?
Daniel had it.
That's up there tonight?
Huh?
That's up there? Is it Daniel?
Yeah, it's at Daniel.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a knockdown, drag out. I think Daniel is really good, really athletic, but I saw Stratford with my own eyes, and that running back, the transfer from Goose Creek, is legit. And the quarterback, Davis, that's committed to Liberty, is legit. So, they got a couple of offensive weapons that are going to keep some defense coordinators up at night.
All right, David, looking forward to it tonight. Where are you headed?
I am headed to Hanahan as they play Wando.
Very good. We will talk to you tonight. Look forward to it.
Okay, take care.
Take care, buddy. All right, David Shelton with us here on Sports Talk, previewing tonight's high school football games. He'll be back with us later on tonight, 10:05. High school football scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Coming up, it'll be the football filibuster, first edition tonight, with Governor Hodges, Attorney General Wilson looking to go nose to nose, back to back, door to door. Back in a moment.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are. Rookie or vet? Playoffs favorite or long shot? 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Looking to make life simple and save money? Transfer your credit card balance to a Founders credit card and take advantage of our balance transfer rates as low as 2.99% APR. Plus, you'll pay no balance transfer fees. Now through September 30th. Save more and stress less with this limited time offer. Promotional rate expires 6 months from the date of the transaction. Then effective APR of 13.25% to 17.90% will apply. For more details, visit foundersfcu.com/cc. Membership qualification required.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosseller-Brown. Did you know Lawyer Lisa offers a prevention plan add-on to our services? If you already have a trust or just need some updates, ask about getting your ducks in a row and getting all of your wishes set out before it's needed. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports, all the time. Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina. Like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper, Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News, and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate. Straight Up Sports is about the stories, just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
All right, it is time now for the first edition this season of the Football Filibuster, exclusively on Sports Talk. Why? Because no one else would do this besides Sports Talk. As we welcome in two of the great political figures of our time in South Carolina, former Governor Jim Hodges and current Attorney General Alan Wilson. Governor Hodges, defending champion, welcome. How are you?
Hello, Phil. There'll be a little background noise. I've got the SC State Band playing behind me at a wedding. So, I'm having a good time. I'm serious.
Whose wedding are you at?
Bakari Sellers, who Alan knows as well, is having his 10-year anniversary, and they're renewing their vows, and he has brought in the SC State Band, so it's pretty entertaining.
Wait a minute. Bakari Sellers has brought in the South Carolina State Band to help him celebrate his 10th anniversary.
And they are marching by as I stand here. I'm trying to find a place where it's not too loud. Here they come. So they're going to provide a little background entertainment for all of us.
I hate to see what he does for his 25th, General. I mean, he might try to bring in the Rolling Stones or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that Bakari's one of those guys that you go big or you go home.
Yeah. That's what I call that thinking outside the box for sure. Well, it's great to have you guys with us once again. I hope you had a tremendous off season. Hope you've done your homework. General, a chance for you to prove yourself worthy once again of facing off with the governor after a very tense, tight, tough competition last season.
Yeah, I mean, Governor's tough to beat. I'm telling you, he's had my number for a couple of years. I will say this though, I started off strong, and then he's a third quarter guy. He came in the second half of the season. He caught me, and then he passed me, and then in that last playoff spell, I almost got him, but he held off. So maybe this will be my year.
Governor, thoughts on your strategy?
Well, I'm trying to get somewhere where I can be heard.
This is a first that we've had the South Carolina State band.
It's going to be loud.
All right, just talk. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. We've had a great time the last couple of years, and of all my lifetime achievements, winning Sports Talk 22 or 25 years is at the top of the list.
Only the governor would keep up with that. All right, let's get at it. While we got you, maybe in a not quiet spot, but where you can hear us. So,
a little better here.
General, since you are the challenger once again as the biggest loser last year, we'll let you go first, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Well,
here we go. Let's start with Notre Dame at Miami. Miami's getting 2.5.
So this is a tough first week. I mean, I thought the spread was pretty difficult, and so I struggled with about 3 of these games. This is one of those games. But, the one stat that I looked at, both schools are starting new quarterbacks, and, I know that Notre Dame's returning a really strong defense and with a top offensive line, and Miami's, done a pretty good job rebuilding their offensive line after last year. But the one statistic that I looked at was that Notre Dame is 0-6 in their last 6 road games at Miami. And so I feel like they're due. And it's such a close spread. I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I don't think they're going to go 0-7. I think they're due to win at Miami. So give me Notre Dame.
Governor, the general sounds like he's done some homework.
He has. I think his analysis is good. Mine will be more simple. I'm counting on Carson Beck being Carson Beck. So I'm going to pick Notre Dame.
You want Notre Dame, and the general's going to take Miami. Good start. Alabama at Florida State, Governor, and you got the Crimson Tide favored by 13.5.
Alan is absolutely right. These are tough first week picks because these are some good games with a lot of points. But I think the Alabama defense is so strong that they'll keep Florida State down, and I think they'll win it by 14 points. So I'll take Alabama.
All right, General?
First off, I picked Notre Dame on the first one. I don't know if you caught that. I felt like Notre Dame was due.
Gotcha.
After having 0-6.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
all right, I got you both.
Yeah, no, I'm with.
Yeah.
Look, FSU. I did look at last year's record for LSU. For Florida State, and I want to say they won 2 games, and I think Alabama's just historically been just a very strong team. I just don't see Florida State being much for them, so I think Alabama can cover a 2-touchdown spread, so I'm going to go with Bama on this one.
All right, so both of you taking Alabama, both of you taking Notre Dame. Let's go to Texas at Ohio State, General, with Ohio State favored by 1.5.
This one was really tough for me. If I recall, I think Texas lost to them last year in the playoffs, if I remember. And I know they're going to be looking for revenge, but at the same time, they're playing. Ohio State's got home field advantage by 1.5. So I'm just going to default to going with the home team on this one. Even though I know Texas is motivated, I just don't think Ohio State's going to give it up on their home field in this first game with that close a spread. So I think that they can hold at least 2-3 points, maybe by a field goal. So I'm going to go with Ohio State.
All right, you got them, Governor?
Well, here's my bold prediction of the night. I think Texas is going to win this handily. I'd say Texas by 10 points.
Texas by 10 points.
I think so. There's something tells me that Ohio State is going to have a little bit of a hangover from winning the national championship. And I don't think they're real settled yet. But I think Manning's really the real deal. So I think all these things point to Texas winning to me.
All right. Let's go to the Saturday night game up at Death Valley. Governor, LSU at Clemson. Tigers favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I really like this Clemson team. I mean, I think they're very balanced. They've got good offense, good defense. LSU tends to start slowly, so I'm going to take Clemson.
Clemson. General, who do you like here?
I think Cade is going to have a good night at Clemson. There's going to be a lot of energy. Clemson is all Death Valley. There's a reason they call it Death Valley. That's where visiting teams go to die, and I think Cade Klubnik is just going to be incredible this year. So I'm going to go with Clemson.
Where visiting teams go to die, Death Valley.
Unless you're South Carolina, of course, recently speaking.
There you go. And that takes us to the Gamecocks, Virginia Tech in Atlanta on Sunday, 7.5. The Gamecocks are favored. General, who are you going with?
Carolina.
Oh.
I'm bullish on Carolina this year. I'm very bullish, so I'm going to go with South Carolina.
So I should just go ahead and put you down for the Gamecocks 12 right through the season, all 12.
Well, wait. I mean, we're going to get more data as the games go on, but I'm going to start off bullish on. Listen, I'm a Gamecock fan through and through. Wait till next year. Well, now it's next year. This is our year, right? We're going to start off strong.
All right, Governor, what about you?
Yeah, I'm with the general on this. On top of us being good, I think there's a lot of signs that point to trouble at Virginia Tech. Coordinator changes, a lot of new players. It just seems like it's going to take them a while to get their act together. So I think Carolina will win this pretty handily.
All right, you got the Gamecocks, both of you. We got about 30 seconds for amendments. General, anything you'd like to amend? You only differ on the Texas-Ohio State game.
Let's keep it conservative at the beginning. I don't know, the governor doesn't like to be conservative, but we're going to keep it conservative. One game spread right now. I feel good with it.
All right, Governor, your time. Anything you want to change?
I'm going to use the formula that's been winning for 22 years, so I'm going to stick with it.
All right, guys. Well, Governor, you have a good time dancing there to the South Carolina State Band. Tell Bakari Sellers the state of South Carolina wishes him well on his 10th anniversary. And General, thank you. I would say, General, thank you. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to both of you guys next week.
Thank you, Corn. Thank you, Governor. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Governor, don't drink too much at that party now. You know what I mean? All right, there you go, the Football Filibuster, edition number 1. And we'll be back for some real picks after the top of the hour break.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump is bypassing Congress and blocking billions of dollars in foreign aid already approved by lawmakers. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
The president is using what's known as a pocket rescission, when a president submits a request to Congress to not spend approved funds toward the end of the fiscal year. He has told the House Speaker that he won't be spending nearly $5 billion in approved foreign aid. The president is essentially cutting the budget without going through the legislative branch. This rarely used procedure was last used by President Carter in 1977. Greg Clugston, the White House.
President Trump has revoked Secret Service protection for former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former vice presidents usually get federal government protection for 6 months after leaving office. Ex-presidents get protection for life. But another person familiar with the matter says then President Joe Biden quietly signed a directive that had extended protection for Harris beyond the traditional 6 months.
Correspondent Haya Panjwani says the move comes just a few weeks before the former vice president kicks off a big city book tour promoting a new memoir about her abbreviated unsuccessful presidential campaign. Stories of bravery and heartache are emerging after the deadly shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic church during a mass celebrating the start of the school year. Friends say one girl was wounded while shielding her buddy as her father, the school's gym teacher, helped usher kids to safety. The aunt of a 13-year-old boy who is recovering after being shot twice says he asked a doctor to pray with him as he was rushed into surgery. The shooting Wednesday morning left 2 students dead and 20 people wounded, nearly all of them children. More at townhall.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Stocks lost ground on Wall Street a day after the market hit its latest all-time highs. The S&P 500 fell 0.6%. The index ended August up 1.9%, its 4th straight month of gains. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.2%. The Nasdaq Composite was down 1.2%. Treasury yields were mixed in the bond market. The government said prices mostly held steady last month. European markets were mostly lower and Asian markets closed mixed. U.S. markets will be closed on Monday for the Labor Day holiday. The Dow down 92 points to finish at 45,544. The Nasdaq lost 249 to 21,455. The S&P 500 dropped 41 points to 6460. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's your weekend forecast. Cloudy tonight with a low temperature dipping to 66. Tomorrow it'll be mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a 40% chance we get some showers. The high is 81. For Sunday, it's a blend of sunshine and clouds, 30% chance of afternoon rain, and another high in 81. Labor Day Monday looking really nice. Have a great weekend. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number, 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
We are back. Sports Talk Media Network. Hour number 2 on this Football Friday night, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Don't forget the high school scoreboard coming up at 10:05 tonight. We got much more to come tonight here on Sports Talk. Jeff Owens talking Darlington in a few minutes, and of course our visit with George Bryan III as we talk all things about golf, including the selections for the U.S. Ryder Cup team, which came out earlier this week. Right now, though, you've heard our picks. You've heard the picks from the football filibuster. It's now time for professional help. Every now and then, everybody needs some professional help. For that, here on Sports Talk, we turn to the one, the only, Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com. Stumbled out of the gate last week at 0-1. But don't let that get you down. He will be back. Welcome in.
Thanks. This is it. This is like Hanukkah, Christmas all rolled into one for the next 4 months. So
I think it's going to be a great ride. And I'm going to make a prediction to you, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the most important ACC season ever. If they do not get someone in the semifinals and have a good year, I think the Big Ten's going to come and take 4 teams, and the SEC is going to take another 4.
Ooh. And that would be it. Kaputs.
Yep.
Sayonara. Turn out the lights. I agree with you. Unless, of course, we end up with some sort of eventual national league for college football,
right,
and they go back and designate the divisions by the regional names where you have true ACC region teams together, true SEC, and so on and so forth. So,
I'd love it. I think it would be great. But from what I'm hearing, actually, the Big Ten is actually the conference that wants expansion even more.
Yep, they've talked about it. They want more playoff teams, more playoff games, more. Sooner or later, they're going to learn that more can be less, More ain't always good, except more of your good information where people can go to get that this weekend.
Yeah, just go to the website, ParamountSports.com, and we're now doing player props, first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the entire season. Probably would normally go for $1,500, $2,000. We're going to put it out there for the next 2 days, just $597 from tomorrow morning all the way through the Super Bowl. Get 3 to 5 selections on a Saturday and Sunday morning on player props. You want to try us for 5 weeks through the end of September. Use coupon code SAVE100, just $497. You're going to get probably 9 to 12, 9 to 13 games a weekend.
Fantastic. ParamountSports.com. All right, let's go to your picks for us tonight. We'll begin with the Alabama-Florida State game.
Yeah, so I know Florida State needed a quarterback in the worst way, but you're really going to take a guy that was benched? I mean, he did have a good game against you, and that's probably why Florida State took him, but every other game, he didn't produce more than 23 points for the offense. So I think that Florida State will be better, but I mean, they were just non-competitive last year at 2-10. I expect this Alabama defense be one of the top 5 defenses in the country, and then they grabbed Ryan Krubb, their former offensive coordinator, who was with the Seattle Seahawks last year. I think this has blowout spelled all over it. Thomas Castellanos is not a drop-back passer. They fall behind by double digits. Look out. Blowout special. Bama, 38-20.
And he'll be eating a great deal of crow based on everything he said here in the preseason. All right, up to Columbus in the shoe, Ohio State, Texas. Buckeyes favored by 2.
Yep. And lines coming down. Actually, about 3 hours ago, there was a $500,000 bet I heard placed by someone at the Circle on the Texas Longhorns. So some places it's down to a pick 'em. And I was looking at the talent level and grading players in the off season, and I think Ohio State was better than Texas last year. But this year, except for the wide receiver position, I think Texas is stronger, and certainly stronger at quarterback. I mean, Arch Manning versus Julian Sand, who, from what we hear, all accounts, has not looked real good in the fall camp. So that could be a problem here. Also, Ohio State lost 7 of their top 9 defensive tacklers from last year. So I just think that Texas with revenge, I think they're going to be ready for this game. I can tell you there will be one play that Steve Sarkisian will not call. He will not call like he did on first down from the 1-yard line. He won't call his quarterback. He won't put him in the shotgun and run a toss sweep. I can guarantee you that. So wrong team favorite again, Texas outright 24-21.
I like it. Let's go to South Carolina, Virginia Tech. You've got the Gamecocks favored by 8.
Yeah, and I think South Carolina is going to be good, but I think they're a little overhyped. I mean, Lenore Sellers can be really good, and he can also have periods where he's not real accurate. They also had 5 players drafted, and I don't think they're going to approach giving up just 18 points per game. I just think that this Virginia Tech team's a little underrated. I think Kyron Drones finally might reach his potential, and their special teams are usually special. I think South Carolina wins, or should I say escapes 26-24, but the Hokies cover.
How about that? I think the Gamecock fans will just take the W. Clemson, LSU, you got the line, Clemson favored by 4.
Mm-hmm. So, first meeting ever in the regular season. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. LSU did win the 2019 title game 42-25, but these are different teams. Both teams are talented in the skill positions. Both teams have quarterbacks that might go in the top 5 in the draft. I think it's going to come down to up front, and LSU's lost 4 offensive linemen to the draft, also 4 starting defensive linemen from last year. Clemson, I think they've got 3 guys on the defensive line that will get drafted first round or first and second round, and Brian Kelly just 4-8 against the spread on the road. Clemson 63-5 straight up at home. There should be more to this game. There should be bet from the presidents, or maybe who knows? When you have 2 teams with the same nickname and name the stadium the same, it should be like a WWE, some type of challenge here. Make it where the loser has to change their nickname from the Tigers to like the Kitty Cat. So, in saying that, I like the Clemson Tigers to win this game 37-27 over the LSU Kitty Cats.
A lot of points, 10-point spread, a cover for Clemson. Okay, and your game of the week tonight, Auburn 2.5 against Baylor down in Waco.
Yeah, important game for both teams. I think that Baylor, with 18 returning starters, we're going to find out how good they are. And do they take the next step from winning 8 to maybe 10 games? And Auburn, this is an important year. They went out in the transfer portal and got themselves a quarterback, and we're going to find out, if that guy, if Jackson Arnold is the guy. So you want to get that game for free? Call 800-400-9741. I'll give it to the first 5 people. 800-400-9741. I'm in such a good mood. I'll even give them the Notre Dame-Miami game I'm going to on Sunday night. So nice. Auburn, Baylor, Miami, Notre Dame, first 5 callers, 800-400-9741.
I'll tell you what, Jackson Arnold, what I saw of him in Oklahoma, was not impressed. So see if he's a different guy at Auburn.
No. We're going to find out quick. Although it's tough to judge a guy with an offensive line that was that bad, and top 5 receivers were out before the first game. So we're going to find out this week what he's made of.
By the way, before we let you go, this story just coming down, Brent Venables is going to give back $1 million of his salary at Oklahoma to go to NIL distribution, or to the share, to the big amount distribution there. So is that going to be something that other coaches will follow suit with? We shall see. I doubt it. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
Take care. Okay, thank you very much. Oklahoma head coach Brent Venables is taking a $1 million pay cut this season. The money will go to revenue sharing. Also, Miami linebacker Darius Hayes, charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide, 1 count of reckless driving, with serious bodily injury following an investigation into a May crash that killed 3 people. I would think he would not be playing this weekend with those charges against him. I'm looking to see if there's anything along those lines in this story, but I don't see anything yet. All right, one last thing before we hit the break and hear from Jeff Owens. Of course, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, so many things in common. The Beamer family, they used to play each other quite a bit. And the songs, Virginia Tech, Inner Sandman. And South Carolina, of course, Sandstorm. Which one's better? They're 2 different types of music.
I think we both know.
Well, I know around here, we're going to hear a lot of that in Atlanta on Sunday afternoon for those 2 teams. I'm just saying, they got a lot in common. You got the Beamer family. You got some similar colors. I think Virginia Tech goes by maroon. The Gamecocks go by garnet. They call it garnet. And they used to play each other on a regular basis until they went their separate ways. All right, let's find out about Darlington from Jeff Owens in the Fast Lane coming up.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
This is Major Billy Downer with the Department of Natural Resources, and I've got a message for all of our hunters out there. When you go afield, always make sure to positively identify your target. Know the identifying features of the game you're hunting, and know what's beyond your target in case you miss. If you want more information on hunter education, visit dnr.sc.gov or join us on Wednesday nights for SC Wild.
You can listen to SC Wild on the Sports Talk Media Network or at dnr.sc.gov/podcasts.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. I'm not a case manager. I'm a lawyer for over 35 years. I don't charge 40% for your injury in your wreck case or any on-the-job injury. Call 803-765-2968 and ask for Jim Corbett, or email me, jim@jimcorbettattorney.com, for the experience of a lawyer handling your injury case. Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968. Jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. Put 35 years of experience to work on your injury case.
Love it when it's forward, love it when it's fast, love it when the leader's caught, the pack is moving past, love it when they're making lots and lots of noise, can't wait to hear these double.
All right, we're back on Sports Talk, and we go inside the Fast Lane with Jeff Owens as NASCAR comes back to Darlington this weekend. It's the Cookout Southern 500. It's also the first race of the playoffs, Jeff, so it's going to be a huge weekend at Darlington.
Yeah, one of the most exciting weekends of the year, Phil. I think there's two perfect dates in NASCAR, and that's the season opening Daytona 500 and then the Labor Day weekend Southern 500. That they finally got that race back where it belongs on the Labor Day weekend, and now the added bonus is it opens the playoffs, and I think that's perfect. I think NASCAR fans love that. I don't think there is a better track that you could start your playoffs at than Darlington. It's got the history, the tradition, the fans love it, and it's one of the most challenging tracks on the circuit. So it sets up beautifully for NASCAR this weekend. Should be a great opening race of the playoffs, and it should be a great weekend.
Absolutely. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I think it's going to be pretty nice going into the evening. Let's go back to Daytona last Saturday night, and boy, that was a heck of a race. What a finish. And I think NASCAR is getting everything it wants out of that Daytona race as a last race of the regular season.
Yeah, it's worked out well the last few years. And one thing I kept hearing throughout that race is, we've had some issues at Daytona and Talladega a little bit the last 2 years with guys trying to save fuel, playing the fuel mileage game, running single file for a while, but we didn't see much of that at Daytona this time. They were racing all out the whole way. We saw a lot of different guys up there at the front. We got some big wrecks that eliminated some guys and drama at the end, and then Ryan Blaney comes up big time at the end, wins a key race. I mean, he was already in the playoffs, but to win that race going into the playoffs, a guy who's won a championship before, that was really big for that team. So here we go. I mean, it's all set up to have a fantastic 10-week playoff.
Yeah. As you reflect on the regular season, I mean, it wasn't a regular season with a dominant guy. There were some guys who had a little bit of run here and there. Of course, you had Christopher Bell, who won 3 in a row, and then you had the the domination of SVG on the road tracks, but from the standpoint of somebody emerging and winning 7, 8, 9 races, that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, we didn't see that. I was meeting with, I had lunch the other day with Jeff Gluck, another guy who covers NASCAR, and we worked together for years, and I asked him that, who's the favorite? And he had no answer, and I don't either. I don't think there is one. I think it's totally up in the air right now, and we've seen that. We've seen guys get hot. Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin had a run. Kyle Larson had a run, but nobody has really been able to sustain any success longer than about 3 or 4 races. All of them have been up and down. I think you probably got 6 guys who are probably your favorites. I think you could pull one out of your hat. There's maybe 2, possibly 3 more who I think have a shot. But it's really hard to pick a favorite right now. To me, I think it's setting up, perhaps, I could be wrong, but maybe this is Denny Hamlin's chance. Maybe this is the time when he can finally go out and win that championship. And boy, wouldn't that be a story right now if Denny Hamlin wins that race while he's in court suing NASCAR. What a story that would be. But I think he's got a great shot. If I had to pick a favorite right now, I might go with him.
How do you think the playoff teams change their approach to each track, each race, now that they're in the playoffs, as far as their preparation, their planning, the pressure of dealing with the playoffs? You think it's different for those teams, the 16 going into the playoffs, different than it is during the regular season?
Yeah, that's a great question, Phil, and I don't really know. I think for the top teams, it may change a little bit. They may get a little bit more aggressive. They may go out and try to win a race, make sure they're running well. The other teams, they've been battling this all year long. They've dealt with that pressure to get in the playoffs and to win a race and get in. So it kind of just starts all over again. I mean, the way this works now, there's pressure almost every single week. Now it ramps up a little bit, but I don't know that their preparation and all of that changes much. What could change, though, you gotta be careful, and you gotta play the points a little bit as well. You gotta go out. You need to go out and win, but we only got 10 races left, and you're not gonna see a lot of upsets. So some of your guys who are in the middle of the pack or toward the back of the pack, they have to run well, but they also got to be very careful to collect points. Get those stage points. Don't get in a wreck. Don't have trouble. So the mindset does change a little bit. I mean, before you're going all out trying to win to get in. Now you got to pay attention to those points to make sure you're in good enough shape to advance to the next round. You're really trying to get to that Final Four, so you've got to navigate those first 3 rounds. And I think some of them are going to have to really pay attention to where they are in the standings and make sure they're collecting points.
How about the track? How about Darlington in, here at the end of August compared to what it was like back in the spring? Going to be running under the lights for the most part in this race. How does the track change?
Yeah, it's going to be, certainly it's going to be different at night. It's going to be a little hotter. I think we're going to get a little bit of a break from the heat because it's not as hot as it has been, but still it's going to be hotter. Track's going to be slicker, but then the track is going to change dramatically. You're used to Darlington being run in the day and it being a really slick racetrack. Tires wear out. You got to really manage those 2 situations. Now you've got to add to that, the track is going to change from day to night. Going to get a little bit more grip at night. It's going to cool off a little bit. Going to get a little faster speed. So you got to stay on top of those adjustments. The biggest challenge early in this race, you got a 500-mile race. First half of this race, you got to stay on the lead lap, stay close to the top 10, be in contention, and then you can maybe go for it in the second half. But, yeah, there's going to be a lot to deal with, particularly with the track changing, tires wearing out, track position is going to be critical. That's what makes this such a great opening race for the playoffs, because this is an enormous challenge, not only for the drivers, but for the crew chiefs and those teams, because they've got to have a great plan, and they got to be adjusting all night long.
You think Chase Briscoe has a decent chance of repeating?
I do. He's run really well all year long. You know, I said earlier I thought there were 6 favorites or 6 guys who could win this championship. I got Chase Briscoe like 7th or 8th, but he is a guy who could really surprise a lot of people. He's a really good driver, and now he's gotten with a good team in Joe Gibbs Racing. And I think what we've seen this year, he's run up front fairly consistently, but he's been very consistent. He's got a victory, but he keeps getting better and better. I think he's a sneaky guy to watch in these playoffs.
Do you foresee any chance of a non-playoff contender winning at Darlington?
Well, I think it's a slim possibility, but certainly it could. I mean, we've seen Eric Jones win at Darlington a couple of times. He's a guy to keep on. And I know we keep bringing it up every week, but at some point, Kyle Busch, they're going to put a car under Kyle Busch. And if they do that, he can go out and win anywhere, particularly at Darlington. So there's a handful of guys back there, Keselowski, Chris Buescher. You've got some good drivers who have won races and who have won races at Darlington who are not in these playoffs. So it's not out of the question. It could certainly happen. I just think your playoff teams are going to be so locked in and so on top of their game. I think it's going to be hard to beat one of those top challengers. And that's going to be a big story to watch. You know, everybody's kind of even right now. Like you said earlier, nobody's got an advantage. There is no favorite. There may be one after this weekend.
Yeah. All right, so who's your pick?
Boy, I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin for the same reason I said before. I don't know. There's just some crazy stuff going on. They were in court again this week. There was some allegations thrown around. It got heated. It got contentious. Denny Hamlin said some things. Michael Jordan said some things. They presented some evidence that NASCAR really's got egg on their face and embarrassed themselves. It just seems like all of that's going to be a factor somehow. I expect Denny Hamlin to step up, be on top of his game, possibly win this championship. He's going to be in the Final Four, I believe, and I think it starts at Darlington.
Well, if Denny is leading late, look for a mysterious caution flag to come out.
You're absolutely right. That's they'll do everything they can to keep that from happening. Maybe we like to say that anyway. But yeah, I think when you're in a situation like this, you tend to step up, and he's got a guy over there on the sidelines with him in Michael Jordan who knows how to do that, to get it done too and motivate people. So I just think they got a big time chip on their shoulder, and with the playing field seemingly being very even right now without a favorite, I think maybe that plays into Denny's hands.
All right, thank you, Jeff Owens, in the fast lane tonight. Practice tomorrow at Darlington for the Cup cars, and the truck race goes off at noon. Birdies, bogeys, biceps. George Bryan coming up after the break.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's your weekend forecast. Cloudy tonight with a low temperature dipping to 66. Tomorrow it'll be mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a 40% chance we get some showers. The high is 81. For Sunday, it's a blend of sunshine and clouds, 30% chance of afternoon rain, and another high in 81. Labor Day Monday looking really nice. Have a great weekend. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Dave Ramsey here. Do you want your money to work for you rather than you working for your money? Go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank and have been serving the Midlands since 1936, offering good old-fashioned customer service and free services. They'll look out for your financial well-being. With 14 locations, check them out today at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
I'm Keith Peters. Politico is reporting a federal appeals court on Friday struck down President Donald Trump's use of emergency powers granted by Congress to impose tariffs, opening the door for the administration to potentially have to repay billions of dollars worth of duties. The 7-4 ruling raises doubts about deals Trump has struck with the European Union, Japan, South Korea, and other major trading partners to reduce the reciprocal trade tariff rates on their imports from the levels the administration eventually set in April. The ruling will not take effect right away, giving the administration time to appeal to the Supreme Court. This has been an SRN News Special Report. I'm Keith Peters in Washington.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
When your pipes panic, Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning steps right in, fast and friendly. Josh and his team aren't just fixing leaks, they're restoring your peace of mind. This is when you're at your most vulnerable. You got a problem, you need a solution. They're not coming out to upsell you or talk you into something new this or new that. You'll appreciate their process. They'll tell you what needs to get done and what it'll cost before they ever even bring in their tools to start the work. They're locally owned, which unfortunately is no longer the norm in the Midlands. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning will treat every home like their own. They've done work for me, for my brother, countless numbers of Point listeners. Dial 799-2222 or visit franklinplumbing.sc.com and you tell them Kev from The Point sent you. You will experience plumbing that's more than just a fix. It's a solution from people who care about their work and stand by it. When you need them, please don't panic. Just call Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, 799-2222.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Sweet from Sweet Comfort Services HVAC. We're locally owned and operated, which really helps keep pricing reasonable. With lower overhead and more accountability, we stand by the systems we install, our repairs, and our parts. Most nationally owned companies know they have plenty of work this time of year when it's really hot. We'll treat you great no matter what time of year it is. Call Sweet Comfort Services HVAC at 803-331-8143. That's 803-331-8143.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword The Point as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
Do you crave growth for your business? That's where The Point comes in. Fran Halloran here. Kevin Cohen and the other local hosts like me have worked to create a space where listeners transform into family. Are you a local business aiming for the stars? You need to get with Kevin and let him help create an individualized blueprint for your growth using the influential stage of The Point Radio. Reach out directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, make this year extraordinary.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
4 straight down the middle. It went straight down the middle. Then it started to hook just a wee, wee bit. And that's when my caddy lost sight of it. That little white pellet has never been found to this day. But it went straight down the middle, like they say.
All right, it is now time here on Sports Talk, as we do on Friday nights. Wrapping up a busy week, talking a lot of football. Looking ahead to a lot of football. By the way, South Carolina and Clemson women last night in soccer, football, played to a 0-0 draw at Clemson. Each side had 2 shots on goal for the entire game. 2 shots on goal, 1 each half. Now, not a soccer fan, but in my world, I call that boring. I'd rather play 54 holes of golf. As we welcome in GB3 George Bryan III Golf can be like football as well, because obviously you can cheat and use your foot to move the ball around if you have to. Don't recommend it, but we're trying to tie it all into football season, George. I know you love football season because that means it's going to get a little cooler out there for the golf scene, and it's going to open up those fairways for you.
Well, that's in theory. Now, every year it could be a little different, and you know how many people listen to this radio show. I could have given out the secret. So this year could be the year where the golf courses are all filled up. I mean, there are literally gazillions listening to this show every Friday night.
Gazillions. Measured in the gazillions. So
gazillions.
You sound like you're mobile and agile tonight. Are you coming from a golf course other than Salina?
No, it is Salina, and it was really pretty special out. So we've chatted just a bit about the college golf tournament that'll be played there in late September, and the College of Charleston golf team has visited this week as I talked this past, or actually earlier in the week, with Augusta University golf team.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening is there's very thick rough at Salina, and that likely will change a little bit, but not a whole lot. One of the things that has happened around all the golf courses, we've got a bunch of grass growing. We've had a lot of rain. It's been a great grass growing summer and season. So you mentioned fall golf. We will have just full-on flush and wonderful fairways all across the Midlands with all this rain. So it will be beautiful to play on this fall, and the weather, nothing quite like it.
Yeah.
But the golf, it's a lot of fun seeing these college golfers play golf. They pound on it. It's a little, it's a lot carefree. There's some innocence, the actions and reactions, and, you got to go to any of the school schedules. Check out where your teams are playing all over the Southeast, especially in South Carolina, at all different levels we've had over the course of the season. That's one of the things I'm going to target, is try to get coaches from each division, Division 1, 2A. We're going to try to fill it up, get each coach from each. We had Jason Allen from Erskine on a couple weeks ago, and just go to your website, check out their schedule, and go out and watch these college players play golf. Usually the gate fee is just right, and I strongly recommend it, because there's nothing, and you get up close and personal with these guys and girls too.
Yeah,
and they really can play.
Well, the Clemson women have already started their season. They hosted a tournament earlier this week, the Tiger Classic, at the Walker course, and they played 2 rounds, and so the Clemson women, they won with a score of 8 under par. They finished 6 shots ahead of UNC Asheville, and Charlotte finished 3rd. And your medalist for the event was, somebody with a very long name. I'm going to try it. She might be from Thailand. See if I come close, George. Her name is Pinchampu Shasel Prung Gruang.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. You got it. Especially Friday, roughly 7:40. You just crushed that one. Hit it right in the center.
Pinchampu. She finished at 7 under. Actually, she must have won a playoff. Juliet DeMoe of Clemson also finished at 7 under. So those were your top 2. Oh, there was a third. I'm sorry. We had 3 in here. Niranic Prajunapanic from Youngstown State. They all finished at 7 under. So I don't know. They've got the girl from Charlotte listed number 1 here, so maybe she's the one that won it. Isabella Rawl, local young girl from the Columbia area.
From Lexington?
Mm-hmm, playing for Clemson, and she finished at -5. Though they've got her down here as IND. Did she play as an independent? Has she graduated?
I don't think she has.
Yeah.
And
she wasn't.
She could have played as an individual.
Individual, yeah. That must be what that is. IND, individual. Okay. Well, she came in fourth at 5 under. So anyway, my point is, off and running with these fall collegiate golf tournaments, and you guys are going to be right in the middle of one coming up. Is it next weekend that they're coming to your place?
No, it'll be at the end of September. Roughly 27th, 8th, 9th-ish. And yeah, they will like I said, I just talked to Coach Corbin Sebens, and you remember we had Coach K, I call him Coach Cry, Coach Mitch Krychek from College Charleston, and when I was talking to Coach Sebens just now, he was giving me a little rundown, and we'll speak individually. I'll go out to watch tomorrow a little bit and start to do some scouting, be a little better prepared as we get to this college event than in recent history, and it will be fun. But their season gets started on Wednesday, I think.
Let me ask you this. Back when you were playing on the college level at South Carolina, did you guys, now the college golf scene, they start playing tournaments in September, August, September, and except for the holiday break in January when they're all gone home or gone somewhere, they're playing throughout the entire school year. There's February, March, April, and then, of course, into the NCAA tournament starting in May. Did you guys have that kind of schedule as well, or were you strictly a springtime schedule back then?
No, it was I don't know what year it started, but it was fall and spring, and it was very, very similar to what it was now. And I was highly motivated, and I was what you call a bench warmer. So but I was so excited about golf at that time. I got a late start, and I would go watch. Back in that day, we had players like Brad Faxon and Jody Mudd. Faxon played at Furman, Mudd was at Georgia Southern. Then we had Steve Liebler at South Carolina. Up at Wake, just out of the era of Watkins and Curtis Strange. We're talking about some old-timers now. But I would still go watch, even though I wasn't on the team, and that they played great events in the fall. A little bit like now, they would travel, and that was used a little bit like the fall is now. The fall schedule is what I would call the extravagant part of the year, and they'll make several trips to cool places. Look on the schedule of your favorite school and see how it works. And the bigger programs, they'll go to some fun places in the fall. And just like with Coach Allen last week, in the spring, they do get down to what I would call a little tighter schedule. You have tournament season. They still go to unbelievable places. That's a constant, but they will always dot the fall schedule with a trip to somewhere like Hawaii or Mexico, maybe even something special like that. And
well, the Clemson men,
but it's been too long. It's a season that is, and we've talked about it, chronicled it for years. It is a season that seems to never stop.
Yeah,
it starts now and it goes all the way till June.
Yep. The Clemson men will play their first tournament, the Myrtle Beach Golf Trips Intercollegiate. They're going to play at Grand Dunes Resort, gorgeous golf course. I wonder if they're playing the public course or the members course. You ever play the members course at Grand Dunes Resort?
I have played both, and at this point, it has been so long ago. I think I would, whichever one is the tournament course, the hard one.
That's the members.
The one that's unfun.
Yeah.
The one that's unfun is the one that I played.
It's unfun. What makes What makes it unfun?
Well, it was hard and long back when it first opened up, and I say that I actually had a hole-in-one on the 7th hole when it was playing extraordinarily difficult. It was at a event I'll never forget it. I had hit a 4-iron, and we could see it the whole way, and it was one of those that was about a 40-mile-an-hour wind downwind, and I could see everything about it. I could see it go on the green, and it gradually rolled into the hole. It was beautiful, and I finished. I went hole-in-one, birdie to get it from about 10 over to 5 over.
Whoa.
9 holes.
Hey, now, I'm looking at these schedules, and you haven't talked a whole lot about teams that are going to be in the Bryan Brothers Collegiate, September 29 and 30.
I just mentioned a couple.
Selena, but you didn't tell us. You got Clemson and South Carolina playing in this thing. Obviously, the Gamecocks are the host, but Clemson.
I did mention that last week. I did, and the reason I remember is we got to talking about how this goes on, and these coaches in golf, they communicate a lot more than some of the others. We've had Clemson and Carolina, both coaches on at the same time, numerous occasions over the years. Golf coaches, that is. At the same time, having very entertaining conversation. We need to target that again.
Well, we will. And I hope when you guys put the pairings together that you got South Carolina and Clemson playing together so we can have a little bit of who knows what might break out between the rivals when they're on the golf course. This is never – I can't – except maybe in a postseason tournament, you can hardly find a tournament where the two of them are playing together, especially in the state of South Carolina. So let's draw up those lineups and get the two teams playing together so they can fuss and fight with one another.
Well, that is something that I have watched, and during the era that I watched the most, there was quite a few pairings. They did play and cross over, not necessarily in South Carolina, but the teams did play in the same event. And I haven't looked closely at the schedule, but obviously this is one and a good golf course, so that will be fun.
All right, so the South Carolina men, they'll open up at the Gopher Invitational, and that'll be the weekend of that'll be next weekend, the Gopher Invitational. Then they don't play again until they play in the Bryan Bros Collegiate. Then they play the Bryson Invitational. The South Carolina women, they will open up on the 8th at the Annika Intercollegiate. They seem to always play in that. Let's talk a moment about this team because, I mean, really, once again, of the golf teams in the state, the South Carolina women probably have the best opportunity to win a national championship. Thought they might have gotten it done last year and came up short. I mean, that was a loaded team last year. I know they've lost some of those players, but they do have another elite player in Isla Galitsky. I mean, she's something special. Have you had a chance to see her play? Has she come through your course?
I have not had the chance to watch her play yet, but they were out today. I went out to greet and meet the College of Charleston golf team, and I was a little bit tardy. I think they played early this morning, and I do look forward to seeing these players, and they are the elite amongst the best in the country. And as we talked, so Clemson has the same level of elite athletes too there. So, and I tell you, like I said, if you just go to your website, your favorite team, even if it's Coastal, College of Charleston, these are at Walford to even Winthrop. Go look up your favorite team. Go check them out in the tournament. And when you visit your first college golf event, you will probably kick yourself for not doing it before now. And I'm just telling you, the players appreciate fans in a gallery. And one of the little tricks, you got to call the golf course ahead. Just call the golf course before to make sure that it is appropriate and to visit. But almost in every college event, there are exceptions, there are exceptions. The fans get the right gate price, and it's pretty cool ticket. Probably the best, most entertainment in all golf that I know about.
I wonder if the South Carolina women, I mean, they've been so good in recent years, but I mean, you lose Louise Ringquist and you lose Hannah Darling. They were outstanding players for them. They've replaced them. They have a couple of returnees. They replaced them with a few new players as well. So really, we don't know, except for Galitsky, who was so good last season as a freshman. So she's going to be, I guess, the leader for them, the number one. But I don't know. I don't know enough about their players. I don't know if you know enough about their players to know offhand if they are a national elite quality going into this season.
Just the quiet word that I heard is they are national elite, and you never can tell until the flag goes up in golf. But I'm pretty confident that what I said is going to be accurate. And they have a pretty deep talent pool. So, and that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun for me to do is a little more recon to be better prepared next week.
Oh, it's okay.
And the following week.
You're all good. Let's talk about the Ryder Cup team, the U.S. Ryder Cup team, which was filled out this week with the captain's choices. So running down the squad, Justin Thomas. I'm going to give the official world golf ranking for each. You got Justin Thomas at number 5, Colin Morikawa at number 8. These are the captain's picks. Ben Griffin at number 17, Cameron Young at number 20, Patrick Cantlay at number 21, and Sam Burns at number 22. Your automatic qualifiers, Scheffler at number 1, Spawn at number 7, Schauffele number 3, Henley number 4, DeChambeau at number 18, and Harrison English at number 10. So what do you think of this team the Americans have put together? Feel like it's a team that can go out and win the Cup at Bethpage Black coming up in September?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. In fact, I would put them as the heavy favorites at Bethpage Black.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the things that gets to happen, I wouldn't say heavy favorites. I would say favorites. And the main reason is, our captain, he is from that area. He's going to draw, the fan support is going to be crazy good, and then he gets to set the golf course up. So he didn't start thinking about that this morning. That's been something that is a topic for quite a while, and I thought it was extraordinary the way he handled not being on the team himself.
Mm-hmm.
And these players know. They know they know who is the elite, who's the best, who's got the edge. And I'm not sure about 6 and 6 anymore. I mean, the 6 autos and yada yada. I'm still I liked it. I've got to like it this year. That's what happened. Sure, they'll change it again, but when a player as good as Keegan Bradley, with his experience, when he decides not to play, that does get my attention, but his reasoning was beautiful. And I don't know if you heard it, and I'm not sure how else he put it, but the one explanation was, I thought about it a lot. If I was in the top 6, I was going to play. And since I feel the way I do about coaching, that's my top priority. I wasn't, so I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was simple. Now, he probably explained it better. Maybe you've got your ideas on that, but I can't honestly see it. That's odd, but I think it's also maybe a step in the team direction for USA, maybe in the right direction, because, see, in Europe, we can talk individual golf all we want, but it's all about team, and the Ryder Cup's bigger than major championships to most of those players.
Really? They'd rather win the Ryder Cup? every other year.
as a team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, Roy, here are the European team will be filled out on September 1 when they announce their captain's pick. So the automatic qualifiers, Roy McIlroy, he's number 2. Robert McIntyre's number 8. Tommy Fleetwood's number 10. Justin Rose is number 11. Terrell Hatton is number 24. And Rasmus Højgaard is number 68. Maybe we found a little weakness right there in Mr. Rasmus.
I just it'll be a lot of fun because of New York fans.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be loud. Keegan Bradley, he has been grooming that golf course. That it will definitely. So that's one of the home field advantages, and it may be different than any other year because I can't remember a New York, Chicago captain home team captain. I can't remember that combination. I'm sure it's out there. I don't keep up that close with history, but I'm telling you, it is going to be wild.
Do you think?
Wow.
You think American golf fans get as much into the Ryder Cup as the European golf fans?
Oh, there's no question on site in somewhere like New York. And the Europeans, one of the big difference with the Europeans, they've been keeping up with it for a lot of years. And a lot of the European, that's built into their culture. Golf creating, we're building our culture now. So we got some newbies in it, and there's no question that we're growing fast. Probably have, if you start looking at numbers, probably more. But as far as the depth of loyalty, there's no question the way the Europeans keep up with the game of golf. They keep up with more details, folks that don't play. And this is just my opinion, my experience.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the emphasis in America is more individual. It's we recognize people, whereas it's club, community, and team has been for a long time. In Europe, I've called 25 years ago, I called in from Europe during this competition, and got cussed out once.
Yeah,
from Ireland.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was too loud. That was the problem. But it's just a big emphasis on team in Europe, no question. And hey, we're learning. We're getting better. Paul Azinger did a great job when he captained and brought it up just a few years ago. He prepared for more than just a couple of years. And the ones before him, but Azinger's big making the change this year. I hear that music.
The music.
Tell you that this segment went by fast tonight. I wanted to recognize junior players, but I think I whiffed on that next week. And until then, hey, enjoy the weekend. Watch football, play more golf, Team Habit, shoot 'em low.
George, as always, brought to you by Tsunami Bar Sports. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Scoreboard later tonight. We'll see you then.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer Sizzle starts